when I look at you, I think about how many of you grew up in a single parent household like me. How many of you were a latchkey kid like me? How many of you ran the streets, learned from negative role models, sold drugs, used drugs, got involved in violent activity, gang activity, hurt people, and went to prison? I don't know how much time you did, but I did 17 years. And I don't wear it as a badge of honor, and I don't wear it as a badge of shame. I look at it as an experience. And I want to share with you tonight from the treasure chest of my experience. Being in prison made me look at myself. It made me look at my life and reflect and decide what I really wanted to do. I did not want that for the rest of my life. Being in prison helped me realize that I was locked up before I actually got locked up. I was locked in survival mode, because the streets, it's about survival mode, is that right? I was locked in survival mode. I wasn't really poor, but my family wasn't rich either. And when you're in a level of, a certain level of poverty, whether you call it low class or low middle class, which to me is still poverty, you're locked into survival mode. Being in prison, you're in survival mode. So I had to learn that I knew nothing about living. And what I'm here to tell you, it's not about survival mode anymore, gentlemen. It's about living. It's about living life on life terms. It's about having both feet in a responsible world. Not one foot in the criminal underworld, one foot in the responsible world. We've been doing that wrong, far too long. In prison, I had a paradigm shift. And I decided that I didn't want to be a destroyer of my community anymore. And I dedicated myself to study, to discipline. And when I came home on my mother's birthday, May 7, 2010, I promised her and myself and the community that I would be a builder of the community. And that's how you give back. So I want to talk about the only 4 words that came to my mind for this speech. As I said, I couldn't write a line down on a piece of paper. The only 4 words that came to my mind is 1, integrity, 2, trust, 3, self-esteem, and 4, humility. Integrity, trust, self-esteem, humility. I came to the Doe Fund 4 months after I came home. Like many of you, I started right back there in that kitchen, washing dishes for $15 a week. My first job, coming home after doing 17 years. And that's better than when I was getting up north. Okay? When I was making license plates and working in the cabinet shop and all that. Hard grounds and all of that. $15 a week. I just came from a broken relationship, and that radio back there used to get on my damn nerves. Then I moved up to $30 a week. And after 30 days, I went out in the field. I worked on Columbus. The Columbus route, I learned, they gave that route to me because they felt I didn't need to be supervised. And that kind of hit me. I thought about it. I don't need to be supervised. So I must be exhibiting some kind of integrity, which started right there in that kitchen.
Keep me coming.
From there, after 30 days, I moved to Hudson River Park, where you are seriously supervised. But they work you hard. Sometimes my feet still hurt from the steel-toe boots that I wore 3 years ago. But I never worked as hard as I did on Hudson in my life. And it built in me a work ethic. After that, I went to the bad team for 30 more days. From there, I came to security. I was tired of being out in the field. I wanted to come inside. And I just opted to do security. I didn't know really anything too much about security on a responsible level. But I came in and I learned from men like Herb Feltier, John Holt, our director, Nappy. I learned from Troy, I learned from Rick, I learned from all these other gentlemen who were here, Ron who's outside. And I went to work as a trainee, breaking up fights. Whatever the job required. and I dedicated myself to do my job. And that's when I learned really what integrity was. I did the right thing when nobody was looking.